Hello students, let us start our new session of the chapter number 14 with the topic geothermal energy. Basically geothermal energy in which we are using a geometry structure of the earth that can be from the surface of the earth or underground surfaces. Around the surface of the earth there are a number of layers. Nearby the surface of the earth, whatever the layer is available, which is more dense, as next part is less denser. Likewise, 3-4 layers are there. First layer is more dense, and as it is moving further from the surface of the earth, density of the particles are reduces. Within these layers, metal particles and other non-metal particles are also there. It is continuously moving around earth. They also generates heat, temperature. Some of the metal materials are hot, which gives a heat. Some of the materials can be cooled down. So with the potential difference of higher heat and the lower cool down terminals, that energy also can be utilized. But it is very much difficult to extract the energy from the outer surface of the earth, from the environment of the earth, right? Another option is available with us. This is the underground rocks. Under the earth layer, heat is more. As we are moving deep from the layer of the earth, heat is increases, and at somewhere whatever the rocks are available on the surface over which we are moving, under that, after much deep of it, we can say under 20 kilometers or more, or more than that, while we are moving in much deep, whatever the rock is there, it's going to be melt, and that molten rocks, in which we can it can push upward. So wherever this particular area where these molten rocks are pushed upward, where that molten part will coming out, and this region is known as hotspots. From that hotspots, whatever the water is coming out or whatever the liquid is coming out, it has a very high temperature. This hot water coming out from the surface, which generates, or that outlets are not known as hot springs. This hot springs or the steam of that hot water can be transferred through the pipe and can utilize to turn a turbine, which generates electricity. But here the cost for the production or establish the power plant regarding this is not that much, because this hot water can be directly available from the natural source. Just we need to transmit it from that spot to the turbine. But it is a very few places where this kind of molten rocks coming upward side, and very few sites are available which can be utilized commercially, because nearby that area there is chances that molten rock coming out instead of the hot water, they can damage our power station. There are number of power stations are established based on the geothermal this energy in New Zealand and USA. In India, no power plant is available based on this geothermal energy. Next energy is a nuclear energy. Basically, nuclear energy is generated from the nucleus of the atom, whose kinetic energy is very much high, which provides bombarding of the number of atoms from which that nuclear and whatever the energy is generated, the single atom, for example, which is moving with the high kinetic energy, and it will affected over the second atom, another atom. So another atom also gets kinetic energy. So now two atoms are there which can moving further. They both are affected over other atoms. Likewise, number of atoms are generated by having that kinetic motion of the atoms. If this process becomes continuous in fraction of the time, this is known as a bombarding of the atoms. And during this bombarding of the atoms, this is performing over the nucleus fission with the heavy atoms. For that, we are generally using uranium, plutonium, or thorium. This energy is known as nuclear energy. There is a large amount of energy is released by this process if the mass of the original nucleus is just little more than the sum of the masses of the individual products. So the fission of atom, for example, uranium we are using, it produces 10 million times of the energy by the combustion of an atom of carbon from coal. So that 10 million times the energy can be generated from the uranium compared to the coal. Nuclear reactor is designed for electric power generation. This nuclear fuel can be a part of fission chain reaction which releases that energy that can be controlled. And for that nuclear controller, nuclear stations has been established. Before that, this nuclear energy is utilized for the destruction purpose. Just like we have heard that in war, nuclear energy was utilized. So for the destruction purpose only initially nuclear energy was utilized. Now we able to control it. So control stations are there in which also we able to store it and utilize it. So the released energy can be used to produce a steam and to generate then electricity. But here the major problem is for the nuclear power generation to store that nuclear energy, and whatever the wastage is generated from it, how to waste that nuclear energy. So this is very much harmful for us, the wastage and the storage and disposable part to the environment contamination. There is also a risk to leakage that nuclear radiation. While this nuclear radiation will leakage, it is harmful to the people. It also gives a very high cost for installation of nuclear power plant. There is a high risk of environment contamination and limited availability of uranium. Makes a large scale use of nuclear energy prohibitive. We are not in a large scale. Obviously, it gives a very large amount of energy, but we cannot utilize everywhere due to these three reasons. First, it is high cost of installation. Second, high risk of environment contamination, and it's a limited availability. So here, the fundamental physics of the fission chain reaction in nuclear weapon, which was utilized initially for the destructive purpose, is similar to the physics of controlled nuclear reactor. Two types of devices are emerged, can be operated quite differently. One for the power station and another for the destruction purpose. Source is same, but both can be utilized in different way. Right now, the nuclear power stations are located in India at Tarapur, Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar, Rajasthan, Kalakappam, Tamil Nadu, Narora, UP, Kakrapar, Gujarat, and Kaiga, Karnataka. In these places, nuclear power reactors, power stations are available. They have the installed capacity, the generated capacity is only less than 3% of the total electricity generation or the requirement, which is a very less compared to other countries. In many countries now they reach to generate electricity up to 30% or more than 30%. Next, environmental consequences. We have studied till now a number of sources of energies. Some of the sources are disturbed, many or all the sources are disturbed to the environment. In any given situation, the sources we would choose depends on some of the factors. First, the ease of extracting energy from the source. Second, economics of extracting energy from the source. Third, efficiency of the technology available. And fourth, environmental damage that will be caused by using that source. We need to verify all 4 criteria. Based on that, we need to choose the source of the energy. Though we talk of clean fuels like CNG, it would be more exact to say that a particular source is cleaner than the other. Clean fuel, fossil fuel, generally we are using that CNG. But we need to compare all the fuels and we need to select which would be more cleaner and that we need to utilize. Fossil fuel causes air pollution, that we know, we have discussed. We supposed to use a solar cell. There is a pollution free, but it's assembly, it's a construction while we are creating that solar panel, which cause some environmental damage. So behind that, the research is going on to reduce that environmental damage by this process, by this establishment of solar panel. Now, how long will an energy source let us? As we know, fossil fuel, we don't have utilized much longer. There is a limited amount of the sources available. So we need to select the source in such a way that we can utilize for long lasting. That fossil fuel or sources are exhaustible sources and non-renewable sources. Other hand, we can utilize a biomass, but for that we need to plant more number of trees and we need to take care for that more number of woods can be available for a fire and for the biomass. Then only we can utilize a biomass if we are implanting more number of trees. So we need to utilize the sources of energy which can be renewable, which can be available for a long period of time. So the renewable energies only can be available from natural sources, from the natural environment, which can be stored easily, which can give you a repetitive use and easily available with low cost. So here these criteria we need to decide, we need to go through to select that good source of energy which should be a less harmful to the environment, which is easily available around us, which should have a low cost, and by this and the energy source should be available for long time, right? So here in this chapter we have understood the number of sources. Is that renewable or non-renewable? Is it easily available? It's a cost effective, it's a technology and everything. Hope you understood the whole chapter with this session thoroughly. Thank you.